Hey friends, welcome to your practice. So in today's class, we are going to go over Ujjayi Pranayama. So Ujjayi is this victorious breath. You've probably heard many of us or your teachers elsewhere speaking about Ujjayi Pranayama, cueing it in your Vinyasa classes, and offering this option to you throughout your movement. So when it comes to Ujjayi, we are moving the breath in and out through the nose. So in this technique, we are going to close our mouth very intentionally and breathe just through the nostrils. Now, before we get into the specifics, just a reminder that breathing through your nose is really important, especially in any type of movement or exercise endeavor. It can help increase your CO2 tolerance, it can help you perform better and longer, and has a multitude of other benefits off the mat. So nasal breathing is important, and it's a technique that we want to understand and use effectively. Ujjayi is a great place to learn this and start to apply it, especially when you are on the mat, even if you're only using it partially during your practice and then coming back to it as you get more accustomed, okay? So there's no pressure for this to be all the time, but it is an important technique to understand and to figure out how to turn on in your body. You will see the difference. So in Ujjayi, you can think of it as this sort of audible breath. You'll often hear it described as an oceanic quality where you can literally hear it. So oftentimes, the easiest way to start this is to imagine that you are fogging up a mirror or a pair of sunglasses right before you wipe them down. So you can put your hand in front of your mouth, take a breath in, and then an open mouth breath. So you get that real visual of fogging it up. And then we're going to try to do that again, but this time with your mouth closed. So you can keep your hand there if it helps with the imagination. You take a breath in. This time with your mouth closed, imagine you could still fog up that mirror, that pair of sunglasses, but do it just through your nose. So you can probably hear the breath a bit more intensely because I'm mic'd up here, but there should be an audible quality. You should be able to hear it. I like to think of this as like halfway to Darth Vader. You're not full Anakin, you're not full Darth Vader, but there should be enough of an audible quality that you can actually hear your breath, or if you're on the mat, your neighbors would be able to hear you, not the entirety of the class, okay? So that gives you a sense of what the breath actually tangibly feels like and sounds like. And the action sort of comes from the back of the throat. It's as if you're moving up and kind of scraping the back of the throat on your breath in, and then audibly on the breath out as well. So eventually it becomes that same movement, so you can feel, you can hear, you can sense it. It's got all of our senses involved each time through. So it'll probably sound something like this. When you move through this type of breath, it can be really helpful to take your tongue to the roof of the mouth so you feel that sort of lift through your soft palate as opposed to I can't even say it and do it at the same time, pressing the tongue down into the bottom part of the jaw. This will also help to bring some more integrity to your core, to the whole central channel as you move the tongue up. This is going to help you be taller, longer, and access that containment from the middle so that you can move with more integrity and you can maintain your postural length as you move through your practice or through your breath work. Okay, so tongue to the roof of the mouth. The mouth is gently closed. You don't need to clench your jaw. Gently closed and gently elevated through the soft palate. Then the breath comes in and out through the nose. You feel it sort of whirl through the back of the throat to create an oceanic sound, halfway to Darth Vader. Whichever one resonates with you is great. If there's a different sound, great. But you want to make sure you find that steady rhythm so that this isn't a sharp breath. It's a continuous flow, like waves lapping on the beach, okay? Give it a few practices. You can sit by yourself, you can pause this video, you can use your hand and the sunglasses technique anytime you want to come back to it. But this is a breath that you would use during that active portion of class. In a Vinyasa practice, once you get to Shavasana or a different kind of pranayama is indicated, let it go, relax your jaw, come back to your normal cadence of breathing in those moments or anytime you need it, and then re-up again when you're ready. So we're going to take 10 rounds together. This is a good time to practice and just get in tune. I quite like to close my eyes and settle in and visualize the breath so that you're not fixated on that around you. You can really internalize how it feels, how it sounds, and the sensations this type of breath technique gives you. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Soften your shoulders down your back. And just a seat that allows you to be upright enough that you can get access to your midsection of your diaphragm for your breathing, because that's what we're doing. And then gently seal the lips. Not to clench the jaw. There's still maybe a little space between the back molars. Slide your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, and as you do that, you might feel the back of the skull gently lift. The neck gets a little longer. Maintain that. And then keep the lips sealed. Take a breath in through your nose, equally through both nostrils if you can, like you're just pulling the air up and in over the top lip. You can feel that whoosh of air as you inhale. Tiny pause at the top, not tense, not stressful, just a pause, a moment, before back out through the nose, and you get that sense of as you exhale. And at the bottom of that exhale, find the bottom. So a tiny pause again, still maintaining that length. And then we do it again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And as you exhale through the nose, you feel that subtle contraction of your throat as if things are just sort of pulling together, the contraction of your diaphragm as you empty out and push the air out through your nose. That little bit of friction helping to cause that audible quality and be intentional with the breath. Round 3, inhale through the nose. You feel a widening and expansion on the inhale. Hit the very top. Pause. And then exhale through the nose. Contract. Just that amount of contraction, that resistance, helping to push the air out and provide that sense of movement. Good, we continue on. Breathe in. And out. I'll give you some silence for these last 5 or 6 rounds so that you can really hear your breath. I invite you to close your eyes or find a steady gaze, something not distracting, so that you can tune in and make your breath, the quality of your breath. You can go ahead and name those qualities. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What sensations does it give you? So that you can tap in to more than just an unconscious type of breathing, which we often do, to this very conscious, specific type. Okay, 5 rounds. Now you can continue on. You can stay and breathe longer. You don't need to do this for any specific prescribed amount of time. Generally, this technique is going to be offered in conjunction with some type of movement practice, or typically in a Vinyasa yoga class. So, good way to practice it, get accustomed to it, and then employ it when you start to get onto your mat. And with any pranayama, it's important to remember, and I want to leave you with the note, that these techniques can have profound impacts on your nervous system, and they will be observed by everyone's system a little bit or a lot of it differently. So please move into these slowly, add them bit by bit until you understand how they affect you, how they work for you, and you might find great benefits or the need to scale back. Take a moment and then jump back in when you feel ready. Okay, so you approach them like any other technique with a progressive learning curve, little by little, in your body, in your breath, and in your system. As always, thank you for joining us here on Commune. I hope this is helpful in your yoga journey and your time on the mat, your time in class, and I look forward to seeing you there again soon. Peace.